Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back to bring back quarterfinal predictions of the World Cup. I did round of 16 and round of 16, round of 16 and round of 32 off screen, but definitely we are back to bring quarterfinal predictions, and here are my round of 16 predictions off screen, on screen right now. So yeah, did not get all right, but it is what it is. Tell me your predictions for the quarterfinals. First off, we got France versus Morocco, guys. France versus Morocco. Repeat of last year, 2022 semifinals, which was a 2-0 win for France. Definitely, Mbappe did not score that game. It was Theo Hernandez and Colomwani, but this time Colomwani is not even called up because his spell at Tottenham was not the greatest. Had some spells at, I think, Juventus as well for Colomwani, but definitely interesting and no doubt. I think this is a very close affair. I don't think France will blow away Morocco, just like how they did not blow away Paraguay. A roadblock at the back. Morocco is defensively solid as seen against Brazil and Netherlands. Two giants, and definitely had the flowers in those games and managed to beat Scotland and managed to beat Haiti as well after a slight scare in that game, and smashed up my team Canada 3-0. It's time for revenge, for France to get revenge for the Canada game, but definitely interesting, no doubt. I think this injury to Saibari, possibly the best player on this Moroccan team, is a massive blow. I think he had 3 goals going into Canada and got injured in Canada. And definitely not good. Saibari will be a massive blow. I know Onahi and Rahimi scored in the last game for Morocco, but definitely France is a different beast than Canada, of course. So I think Al-Kabi has to start ahead of Rahimi this game, despite the goal late on. I think Al-Kabi is more clinical. We saw in the AFCON with those bicycle kicks. Definitely a capable player. Al-Kabi, age 32, at the AFCON was good, and he showed his flowers there and does good football at Olympiacos in Greece. I go 2-1 France. Mbappe with a brace in this one, but definitely do not rule out Olise, Dembele, Cherki, Doué, Barcola. So much attack. I want Conte to finally get some game time in this one as well. Maybe from the start with Chiomani possibly injured for this one, but you have Rabiot as well, who actually overperformed in my opinion, but I think France will win 2-1. I think Brahim Diaz, Hakimi, or Rahimi or Al-Kabi to score in this one. Even look up for Al-Kanouz battle with Digny or Theo Hernandez, but yeah, Brahim Diaz mainly on Theo Hernandez. Koundé battle with Al-Kanouz, but definitely look out for Bouadi, a highly rated French player that joined Morocco recently, so definitely shows how stacked the French team is. We don't need Bouadi, but definitely head-to-head is only one from the last World Cup. I go for a 2-1 win in favor of my team France in this one. We move to the other side of the bracket. I'm going to spice it up and go to the other side of the bracket. I think the second most anticipated game out there, Norway versus England. Wow, Haaland knows this England side possibly inside out, but the England side also knows Haaland inside out because basically their players all played at the Premier League at high level. And Haaland, top goal scorer of Premier League, we all know in the last 2 seasons. So definitely it's looking good. Erling Haaland, very tall, 192 centimeters, I think. It's very good stature for Erling Braut Haaland. 194, pardon me. And yeah, Sorloth is not too far behind, 193. So definitely these guys are tall. Odegaard will have to show his promise and keep Ryerson fit at right back. And for the Wolves player who went down with Wolves, Wolfe, watch out for him, and both Bergs in the midfield. Nyland will have to come clutch again. Nusa, underappreciated, scored one of the goals of the tournament. One very good goal. I think it was against Cote d'Ivoire, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire. So definitely impressive. So definitely you get past Ivory Coast, which I expect you to do. Rice versus Odegaard, the captain of Arsenal against the probably vice captain of Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, Rice. But definitely, yeah, Bellingham has been very good. Like a David Beckham, except no free kicks, and a Harry Kane, one of England's most lethal strikers. I don't know if he's behind Alex Shearer, but definitely a few other names in England. Don't pretend I follow that old English side that closely. But yeah, Rooney back in the day as well. But yeah, they do produce some quality strikers. But Saka, Gordon, I don't know. I think Rashford needs more time. I think you might see Watkins in this game if it goes to extra time, because he did score a beauty, I think, in the Euros, if I'm not mistaken. And even Tony had some assist in that one. But definitely Jordan Henderson, I think, gets injured, which is a massive blow to the wrist. And it's out until August. But yeah, what will happen at right back? Is Reece James fit enough to start? That's the question, because he's on the bench quite a lot. What will you do? Konsa, right back? Or would you bring Jed Spence, right back? Or Trevor Chalobah? It's left to be seen. Eberechi Eze deserves a start, in my opinion, over Saka possibly. But maybe even on the left and play Gordon right, because he's versatile. I'm pretty sure. So that's, as you know, he's not versatile enough. But yeah, Elliot Anderson will have to have a big game. But I think Jordan Pickford will be busy amongst the two keepers. Guehi might get eaten up by Haaland. It will be very hell of a game to stop his colleague Haaland from Manchester City days, of course. They know each other well. I'm going for a shock here. Not a lot of people go with this, but there has to be some kind of shock in the quarterfinals. Might be totally wrong. I don't mind, because I have England in my head, but my heart says Norway. So I'm going with my heart and saying 3-2 Norway in a classic extra time game. Maybe 120 minutes. But before the 120 minutes, like 113 or 115, Erling Haaland bags his hat-trick and Kane scores a brace. But look out for Jude Bellingham, who can definitely assist and score of his own. But I see Norway shock the world again, just like they did against Brazil. knock another giant out in the name of England. What a player that is. And look at that boat that swarms around. Foot mob for Norway, indeed. Next up, we got potentially a tough opponent for my team, France. Indeed. Spain, one of the favorites, other than Argentina and France, of course. My three favorites. Definitely interesting. But Spain should beat Belgium, despite Belgium dispatching a lackluster USA, who I expected to win. Suddenly, because I was not convinced by Belgium. But Belgium do show their flowers, and very good, nonetheless. Spain, it will be if a Yazbel and Lamine Yamal fire on cylinders. Ferran Torres as well off the bench. It's sad he's off the bench. I would prefer him over Buena or Gavi on that left wing, but definitely they have so much talent that's not used. Zubimendi, for instance, Mikel Merino, for instance, on the bench. Fabian Ruiz is on the bench as of late. Head-to-head favors Spain, 2 wins to no wins for Belgium and 1 draw. España looked very good under De La Fuente, and Belgium under Rudi Garcia showed some promise in the last game. But Spain have not conceded a goal. Will they concede a goal in this one? I think they will. But Courtois will not keep out this Spain team. He will have to perform a masterclass. He is in my team of the tournament so far. And that might change when it comes after the final. But 8 more teams to go. Spain versus Belgium. More mouth-watering game, blockbuster game. Definitely, I think Spain have a little more quality, especially in defense and the midfield and the attack. No Onana is a massive blow for them. I don't know how fit Rasikin is. I would wish this golden generation of Belgium, if it still is the golden generation without Hazard and a couple of players, Mertens for instance. But Witsel came out of retirement to play for this team as well. So that's very interesting. But no Vertonghen, no Underworld, no Boyata, and no Vincent Kompany at the back. Some quality defenders. I don't trust Mounier, De Quippier, De Winter, or Castagna. These guys, I don't know. Ngoi of Lille, I don't know. We're definitely still a young side. But, will CDK, Charles de Ketelaere form again? Or will Lukaku start? I think Lukaku, super sub, despite being a super sub in the last game, should start. Every time he's on the pitch, there's some problems caused. And Doku should start from the front on the right over Luke Bacchio, who missed some pretty good chances in the past. And yeah, I think Doku is just better at better club Man City anyways. But yeah, Luke Bacchio. Tielemans will have to be massive for this team. Luke Bacchio, I think Sevilla, no Benfica. Did he play for Sevilla? I think he played for Sevilla in the past, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah. So, Onana is the massive miss. Trossard might show up, but I think Lukaku show up. Lukaku assisted by KDB. I think KDB should start, especially with now Onana. He and Tielemans should link up in the midfield. but when Atkins should start. I think it's a 2-1 win for Spain, sadly. I think Spain will do it in regulation time. They're just good enough, maybe extra time, but regulation time for me in a 2-1 classic in this one. Cucurella against Doku will be a massive one. Trossard against Porro. I wish they start Llorente. I rate Llorente more, but yeah. And people say almost a good super sub. It should be Gavi there or someone else. Fabian Ruiz, Marino. But definitely interesting. Iglesias is not getting game time. And you don't have Joselu anymore. So it's interesting. No Morata as well. Short of options in attack. All relies on Yazabel. So Mikel Yazabel. Baller, of course. Switzerland do it the hard way against Colombia. Colombia just has this ego. They don't have the know-how in penalty shootout. And Kubo just comes clutch again. Akanji misses a penalty, I think. And he misses a penalty. And I think some other defender of Colombia misses the penalty. Davinson Sanchez, Soso, and Dran Hernandez skies it. And they get saved by Kubo. I don't know, man. Ruben Vargas with the massive goal. Should have scored in regulation time, but Cedric Itten, the striker, scores ahead of Dran Hernandez, which is massive. And Granit Xhaka was so close to be saved, but had enough power to scrape it in. Even Abdouni of Burnley, I think, scored in this game. So definitely something's wrong with Colombia. You don't have Ospina, but yeah. Colombia lackluster again. I think they lost on penalties. Was it to England or Croatia? The last World Cup. So yeah, Colombia just had this thing in penalty shootout that they don't show up. And England in penalties, yeah, in the last World Cup. So 2018, they didn't make the last World Cup actually. Pardon me, but Switzerland, much defensive compared to Egypt. But with Akanji, Ricardo Rodriguez, the veteran, already. They don't even need Fabian Schär from Newcastle. And Zakaria playing right back. That might be not his natural position, center back or DM. But yeah, Xhaka will be good. But without Manzambi, that might be a big problem. Johan Manzambi. Yeah, but you have Ndoye and Vargas. They should start. Raider should be benched for Vargas. But Messi, the X factor of Messi is just too much for Switzerland. Martinez needs to be much sharper in goal, letting in 2 goals in 2 games against African opposition, Cape Verde. Debutants, Cape Verde, and the first time Egypt make a knockout stage as well after beating Australia. First time making it out of the knockout stage, but did very well. Zico had a disallowed goal, and then people calling FIFA fix it for Argentina. It's just ridiculous, man. The foul in the build-up play, Zico disallowed. The shirt celebration didn't matter. There was no yellow card introduced because it was disallowed. But Messi had a penalty saved. You have to change the penalty takers now. McAllister should take the next penalty. I think he's the best option. Tell me your best option to replace Messi as the next penalty taker for Argentina. There probably will be penalties involved in Argentina's game like there are 2 so far. But still, just have to point that out. I think the back 4 is okay, but maybe the midfield needs to change. Maybe you need to introduce Nicolas Gonzalez. And Alvarez somehow hit and miss, should have scored, but brilliant save by Sobir. Wow, Sobir doing much better than Al Sharawi. That's a quality thing about Egypt's goalkeepers. Always good. Al Sharawi, Sobir, and back in the day in AFCON, Gabaski, who lost to Senegal in penalty shootout. Remember, he was clutch in penalties. But definitely, if this goes to penalties, Argentina is my favorite, despite Switzerland winning the last shootout. 2-1 Argentina. Will it go to extra time? I don't think so. Argentina did both of their games in regulation. I think Messi might nag a brace, or Alvarez finally gets on the score sheet. Even maybe Lautaro, maybe Gonzalez, maybe DePaul, but it's 2-1 Argentina. And I think for Switzerland is Granit Xhaka, Embolo, Ndoye, or Vargas with the goal. So that wraps up my quarterfinal predictions, guys. And it's France versus Spain. Norway shocked the world against England to face Argentina in the semi-final. Tell me your prediction in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the video. Notification bell on. On the road to 300. Peace out. Steve Squad signing out.